In the headlines, Prime Minister Skerritt issues stern warning to those hurting Dominica's image overseas. Tendering begins for the design of Marriott's new hospital, and Dominica and China sign agreement to cover West Coast Road rehabilitation project. I am Kenny Williams with the Channel 5 News. I'll be back with the details after this. First up, Prime Minister Skerritt has issued a stern warning to those who continue to spread rumors giving Dominica a bad name. The Prime Minister expressed his annoyance and disgust with these incidents and called on Dominicans to desist from this practice.
We need to have a positive outlook of our country, and we need to continue to speak positively about our country. And those of you who are engaging yourselves in the propagation and the dissemination of all of this unfounded, malicious comments about our country, whether it's about the quality of the water in our country, or whether there is swine flu in Dominica, all of which are not true. We should desist from doing these things. Let us understand that this is not going to only affect a person whom you call Roosevelt Skerritt alone. For many of us in this country, for the majority of us in this country, this will be the only place we can call home. We will be able to call home. And therefore, what you sow, that's what you shall reap.
Dominicans were challenged to do the right thing and clamp down the efforts of those who seek to tarnish the country's reputation.
We, the sensible people in this country, must not remain quiet and silent when there are elements and characters in our country who live within and outside of our country are seeking to destroy the efforts of the committed Dominicans to build in a better, more prosperous and just Dominica. And we must not take pride in propagating falsehoods about our country. And if a story is negative about Dominica, why forward it?
The nation was reminded that it must work together as a unit to move the country forward.
We have to change our attitude on this, because we cannot rely on friends like China for our development. They are here to assist us. The bulk of the responsibility rests on our shoulders as Dominicans to play our part, as small as it is. When you add it up, if it's positive, it can contribute to a better Dominica.
2 new agreements have been signed between the Commonwealth of Dominica and the People's Republic of China. Here is Andrea Louis with more.
The Economic and Technical Cooperation Agreement and the Implementation Agreement for a China-aided West Coast Road post-Erica rehabilitation project were signed on Thursday. Making his first public appearance during the signing ceremony, new Chinese ambassador to Dominica, His Excellency Liu Kun, said the agreements register the bond of friendship between the two countries. His Excellency also noted that China is happy to lend a hand to Dominica where needed, especially post-Tropical Storm Erica.
The experts team from China Railway Ouyuan Engineering Group Corporation Limited has been working around the clock for more than 1 month, doing on-site exploitation and survey works around the road from Roseau to Portsmouth. I can tell you that the Chinese government made a special case for this project and greatly expedited the examination and approval process, which usually cannot happen in our normal practice. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to say we are not only building a road, we are also building the friendship. It is a friendship road will last forever.
Dominica's Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerritt said rehabilitation work on the West Coast Road is of utmost importance to the country.
The reconstruction of the West Coast Road is critical to our country and to the commercial efforts in Dominica. The Roses to Portsmouth Road is one of the most traversed roads in the country. And it experienced tremendous damage during the storm, with 3 main bridges literally washed away, and several sections of the road also washed away, edge failures, and also concerns with the slopes. The Chinese government, not waiting for us to ask for assistance, offered the assistance to reconstruct the West Coast Road.
The Economic and Technical Cooperation Agreement provides for grant aid to Dominica in the amount of approximately $21 million, while the agreement for a China-aided West Coast Road post-Erica rehabilitation project provides the detailed work to be undertaken on the West Coast Road. Andrea Louis, Channel 5 News.
The tendering process has begun for the design of a $300,000 Marriott Hospital project. It's been 5 months since a recommendation to government for urgent reconstruction of the mold and termite-infested building housing the Marriott Hospital and Health Center. Health Minister Dr. Kenneth Daru told the media on Wednesday that the Ministry of Health had invited companies to bid to come up with designs for the construction project.
We are now in the process of sending out documents, inviting tenders for the design of the Marriott Hospital. There's this feeling out there that Marriott is being targeted for whatever reason. So for myself in politics, I guess because of my human nature and my performance as a district medical officer and my love for people, and I don't think I would sit at the helm of the Ministry of Health and allow any particular region or any particular person to be marginalized.
The ministry's permanent secretary, Helen Royer, informed a June news conference that they suggested government repair the existing building urgently, estimating that work was expected to start on that project shortly. The health minister has explained that cabinet decided to look outside of the Ministry of Public Works for the project's design.
Given of course, the capacity issues that exist within the government system, and where a lot of times that we have to depend on another government department for some of the technical work, in this case being the Public Works Ministry, of course, if they're limited staff, etc. Cabinet has taken the decision to outsource the process in terms of the design of the Marriott Hospital. The minister, of course, will take the full responsibility that we dropped the ball a bit, because this money would have been sitting there for the past year plus. In last year's budget, money is $300,000 for the designs of the Marriott Hospital. So the fact that I said that we have these issues, capacity issues within the public service, that we have decided to outsource this. So we are now in the process of sending out documents, inviting tenders for the design of the Marriott Hospital.
Marriott's health services were relocated to 2 buildings in the community since the infestation problem worsened in June. Government to invest over $100,000 in a daycare program to tackle vagrancy. This follows a cabinet decision in October. Government Minister Justina Charles revealed the plan at the Roseau City Council's inauguration ceremony on Wednesday. She was representing Prime Minister Skerritt at the time.
Cabinet approved a program to address the situation with our vagrants in and around the city of Roseau. And in order to address that, we had to approve a sum of $102,500 to address this situation in the initial stages. And this program includes providing a daycare center, or if you want to call it a day hospital, for the vagrants around Roseau. During that time, there will be an assessment of the individuals.
The plan, according to Charles, is to conduct a study of the program to guide a medium and long-term plan to manage vagrants. A social worker and counselor will be assigned to the facility with the aim of improving the occupational and vocational skills of vagrants.
It's going to be a voluntary thing where they walk in to the program, they accept the program, and are willing to be part of the program. And we are hoping that during the time that they will be there in that program, that there will be a total, thorough assessment of the individuals to look at their physical, social, and psychological well-being. A management plan will be developed in order to meet their specific identified needs.
Meantime, Roseau Mayor Irene John says vagrancy is a long-standing problem that has plagued her council's agenda.
We also have to face what has for a long time been an intractable problem to deal with. I refer to the problem of vagrants and their continuing threat to our residents, and more so to the success of our tourism industry. This is a social problem that requires humane but effective solutions. Solutions that include not only regulation, even more so, action to improve the care, welfare, and protection of many of those who are left behind on our streets. Our council will do as much as it can to address these problems during our new term.
For the first time, a Dominican student will be awarded the Caribbean Certificate of Secondary Level Competence. Kiana Brown of the Northeast Comprehensive School has created history by becoming one of the 2 regional students to be awarded the certificate. The other student is from Grenada. Brown achieved Master in CCSLC English and Mathematics and Grade 1 in CSEC Food and Nutrition, Technical Drawing and Electronic Document Preparation and Management. She is a first-year student of the Dominica State College, currently studying architecture. She told Channel 5 News she surpassed her expectations.
I really don't know how to describe that right now, because at the moment I'm still trying to come to grips with the fact that I did indeed do it, but I am very proud of myself for actually exceeding my own expectations. I have to work a lot of work to staying up late to get SBAs done, studying, getting up early in the morning to study. I need a qualification as a solid background for me to get into the state college so that I could pursue my career choice.
She will receive her award at the opening of Council and Regional Top Awards ceremony slated for Thursday, 1st December at the Hilton Hotel in Barbados. The Ministry of Education, in its press release, stated it was extremely proud of Kiana's achievement and for her demonstration that there is value in the CCSLC certificate. Coming up, the new team to run the affairs of the city of Roseau. Thanks for staying with us. Triple K Global lead singer Wayne Benjamin, also known as Benji, is among new councillors on the Roseau City Council.
The 13-member council was inaugurated on Wednesday evening at the Arawak House of Culture, with Irene John being re-elected as Roseau Mayor for a second term. Benjamin is one of 5 new members to the council. His entry comes as he accepted a nomination to serve on the council. The other new councillors are Ermin Roye, Ken Joseph, Rowan John, and Sherman Hartford Boston. Returning to the council are Rhea Brumant, Erickson Romaine, Kimara Ito, Ivan Sones, Lucy Bell Matthew, Michael Moreau, and Member of Parliament for Roseau North, Daniel Lugue. Mayor John told the inauguration ceremony that the council has been challenged in accomplishing certain tasks due to limited resources. She says she feels encouraged by government initiatives such as the rebuilding of sidewalks and drains and encouraging restoration of dilapidated building properties which complement the urban renewal program.
Our principal source of financing comes from rates. During the past year, we found it very difficult to increase the yield from our revenue base because our discrepancies in our properties register. Transfers either through sale or bequest were not reported and recorded, and we have had to do extensive reassessment to re-establish ownership of those properties. We appeal to those property owners who have not done so to come forward and make good their delinquent accounts.
A new activity to help the Bureau of Gender Affairs in its efforts to reduce incidents of violence against women will get underway this weekend as the Bureau begins its 16 Days of Activism campaign on Friday.
One of our newest activities we're doing this year is a bar hoppers line, where we'll be going to different bars and just speaking to the men there, you know, about violence. What do they think, you know, if they have experienced violence, if they have actually done violence, you know, just getting their feedback on the whole 16 days of activism period. So this is one of our new activities, and we'll be doing, you know, the activity on the north and northeast and northwest, and hopefully next year we can see if it goes well, then we can do it on the other side of the island. Last year we actually had a community meeting, you know, one of the communities on the north, and we had the opportunity to actually visit bars prior to the community meeting, and you know, we had conversations with men there. It was actually impromptu. And, you know, just listening to their feedback, we decided, you know, that this will be a good activity since, you know, they have a lot of ideas, you know, they have a lot to say. So we decided that this year we're actually going to make it a formal activity as part of the 16 days calendar.
A reliable source has confirmed that national epidemiologist Dr. Paul Rickets is currently in intensive care in the U.S. The source said Dr. Rickets is in a critical condition and most of his family members have traveled to be with him. In his absence, Dr. Shaladdin Ahmed will act as national epidemiologist. And students of the Massac Canefield Primary School on Thursday got a chance to better understand the world around them. Desalyn Joseph has more on that story.
We're currently at the Massac Canefield Primary School. The school is celebrating Boys Week, and as part of Boys Week, they have decided to dress up in their career uniform. We're here with the principal, Mrs. Lewis. Could you tell us a bit about the activity today?
Okay, this morning, we are having car ready, but basically we begin from the 21st to the 25th, ends tomorrow. Boys Week has been an initiative of the Western District under the guidance of our education officer, Mrs. Roy. For the past 5 years, we have been having Boys Week around this time of the year, and basically it has been very successful. It's my first at Massac Primary School, and I'm very elated in the reception, the way the people are, the staff and the coordinator, Mr. Drago, has put things together. There was a committee who came together along with the student council, and they decided upon what they would like for the week.
It's not every day, I mean, you see so much focus being placed on boys. Are you seeing a positive impact based on the line of activities that took place so far?
Yeah, because really, the boys really understand that that they're important. Most of you observe the girls are always on the limelight. In terms of national assessments, the girls are always there. CXC, you find the girls way up there. You'll find some boys, but majority are girls. So the boys realize that they're important, and we make them realize that they're important for this activity, that they have a role to play. Make them understand that they have to be the fathers, they have to be the leaders. We tell them that when there's a bag of cement to lift, first we call the men.
I am very, very pleased this morning. Actually, this is the second year since I am at Massac Canefield Primary School that we are staging Boys Awareness Week. We did not have last year because of Erica, but this is our second year, and I am very, very pleased. I am very, very happy to see the boys, the parents, they went all out to ensure that the children are dressed in their career, the career paths that they choose.
So we're now with the head boy, dressed as a male doctor, male nurse. Okay, could you tell us what are you dressed as, and why did you decide to dress?
Well, I decided to dress as a doctor because I like helping people, I like seeing people healthy, and I just want people to live their life safe with no diseases.
So you just saw the students dressed as police officers, some as fire officers, the president, the prime minister, and so forth. I'm Desalyn Joseph reporting for Channel 5 News.
Your sports highlights next. We begin with football, where Exodus FC and the MV Maxino Bombers made it 2 wins in as many matches as the DFA Division 1 League continued on Wednesday. Exodus hammered Dublin Football Club on home turf 6-1. Kevin Christmas and Ishmael Francis bagged 2 each for Exodus, with Ajaya Roy and Keelan Riviere adding 1 apiece. Sherkel St. Marie scored for Dublin. Meantime, at Benjamin's Park, MV Max and the Bombers edged out Boston Warner 2-1. The efforts of Yanel Joseph and Usher Judge ensured victory for Bombers, while Erwin Bruno scored for Boston Warner. The matches between Point Michelle FC and the Digicel Newtown Juvenile Harlem United, as well as Mao Soka Strikers against East Central, have been rescheduled for a later date. RIC Kensborough and Exodus FC will clash at Dublin on Friday from 6 p.m. Meantime, in the secondary schools football championships on Wednesday, St. Mary's Academy made light work of Pierre Charles Secondary with a 17-0 pounding. For SMA, Turam Tuse and Majid Peltier scored Beavertrix. Kimar Phillip and Bry Evans got 2 each, with single goals from Quinton Moise, Odell Laville, Shamara Phillip, Tamaya Williams and Therese John Baptist. In another match, Castlebrew Secondary defeated Goodwill 2-1. Javon Joseph and Glenson Scotland netted for CBSS, while Goodwill's scorer was Sean Henry. Finally, in secondary football, Isaiah Thomas Secondary and Dominica Grammar School played to a 3-2 game where ITSS won. Glendon Pielwy was the star for the winning team, scoring a hat-trick. For DGS, Kasim Peltier and Jante Kazemi scored 1 each. On the opening day of the test between Australia and South Africa, Australia trailed by 245 runs with 10 wickets in hand on Thursday. South African captain Faf du Plessis scored the most for his team, making 118 not out. Stephen Cook chipped in with 40. And although by test standards, declaring on 259 after 76 overs of the first innings is early, du Plessis perhaps wanted to take advantage of an injured David Warner not being able to open the batting for Australia. Josh Hazelwood took 4 for 68, while Jackson Bird picked up 2 for 57 and Mitchell Stark 2 for 78. Australia on 14 without loss at the end of day 1. Next up, physical education teachers based in the North benefited from the second leg of a West Indies Cricket Board UNICEF Child Protection in Sports initiative on Thursday. Event coordinator Gemma Azil-Luis says the training lets the teachers understand how to handle a variety of child protection situations.
It is designed for use by coaches in the area of youth development in cricket systems, with the focus on integrating child protection in sports, with the focus on cricket. You need to know how to protect children. You also need to know how to protect yourself. Because just how you can be there talking to the children about how to report child abuse and what to do if they get abused, you too, an allegation can be made against you of child abuse. And one of the things that the training is going to cover is the do's and don'ts as a coach, as a PE teacher. What do you do if training is over and only one child remains and that child the parent doesn't come to collect that child? What do you do as a cricket coach? What do you do as a PE teacher?
The first leg of the training, which was held in March, targeted PE teachers based in the South. In netball, we can tell you that Leeds Institute beat Wesley High School 19-10 in an under-20 encounter of the secondary school's netball league. Top scorer for Leeds was Lynetta Cadet, 17 out of 36. For WHS, Kayla Bellot netted 6 and Regina Joseph 3. Finally, in sports, Coach Erickson Liebler says although the number of athletes who show up for training could be better, the quantity of players produced is good. This as the national team gets ready for the World Cup qualifiers in May.
We sent out a list for 30 guys and 25 women. To date, the most we've had in the training numbers for the men was 22. On an average, we have like 12, 10 guys. Out of 25 women, on an average, we have 12, 15. I am not satisfied with the numbers, but I am satisfied with the progress. So at least 2 months of strength and conditioning, then you basically cut down the numbers, and then you train these people, and then the next 3 months, you build your team.
He says the limited pool of players could be disadvantageous to the team's progress.
A whole lot of ways, because for one, we are not getting the best. Unfortunately, it is not the training. One thing, our training ground is in Roseau, and we have guys who were called out from Marriott, from Portsmouth, from Point Mission and Roseau. Unfortunately, some of your better players who are from Portsmouth or from Marriott don't show up. So you are forced now to either work with, should I say, a lower class bunch of guys, and you want to really build them up to meet some of the more elite players. So it's a lot more work on the coach or on the other coaches to build to that level, because it's not a local tournament. It's a World Cup qualifying games that we're preparing for.
That's all the sporting highlights for now. Join us next time. Your weather forecast is next.
Good evening, Dominica, and welcome to tonight's weather broadcast. I'm your presenter, Marshall Alexander. We begin by taking a look at earlier infrared satellite imagery and what it showed. Limited convection across the islands during today. However, this area of convection lingers west of the island chain. Now, taking a look at earlier visible satellite imagery and what it showed. Some low-level clouds which moved across the area during today, and this resulted in partly cloudy to cloudy skies across Dominica. Now, taking a look at earlier radar imagery and what it indicated. A few brief scattered showers mainly across the central portion of the region during the afternoon. Now, tonight's weather is expected to be partly cloudy to occasionally cloudy and breezy with a few brief scattered showers. And tomorrow's weather is expected to be fair to partly cloudy and occasionally breezy with a few brief scattered showers. Sea conditions are expected to be moderate in open water with waves peaking near 7 feet. Small craft operators and sea beavers, especially on the western coast, you're advised to exercise caution due to northerly swells. For the next 3 days, fair to partly cloudy skies with a few scattered showers can be expected on Friday and Sunday. However, on Saturday, an increasing cloudiness with a few scattered showers can be expected. A decrease in wind speeds can be expected as we move into Sunday. For the rest of the Caribbean, cloudy skies with some scattered showers can be expected across the Leeward Islands, with fair to partly cloudy skies with a few brief scattered showers expected across the central portion of the region, with an increasing cloudiness, scattered showers and possible isolated thunderstorms expected across the extreme south. Our international cities forecast: cloudy skies can be expected in New York, partly cloudy skies expected in Miami, clear skies expected in London and Beijing, and some thunderstorm activity can be expected in Caracas. Sunrise tomorrow will be at 6:13 a.m. and sunset will be at 5:32 p.m. Please remember that we are still in the hurricane season. For more information, you can call the weather hotline at 447-5555 or visit our website at weather.gov.dm. Thanks for viewing. Have a good night.
To end in the news, a recap of the headlines. Prime Minister Skerritt issues a stern warning to those hurting Dominica's image overseas. Tendering begins for the design of Marriott's new hospital, and the Dominica and China sign agreement to cover West Coast Road Rehabilitation Project. Feel free to contact us at news@MarpinNewsNov24th2016. You can also access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire production team, I am Kenny Williams. To our viewers around the world, we thank you for watching. Join us tomorrow.